Hello everyone, welcome back to USARK's official channel here on YouTube. There have been some horrific things happening to the reptile industry as of late, and in the wake of what's now being referred to in national mainstream media as the Holy Thursday Massacre. Here at USARK, we will continue to inform on this incident as we have more facts together, but we want to make sure all traffic and support goes to USARK Florida during this time. Please consider joining USARK Florida, and you can educate yourself on this Holy Thursday Massacre on their link in this video's description. Until more information has been made public, and especially from a response from Florida's Fish and Wildlife Service, here are some indisputable facts that you can know about what really happened last Thursday. First, a boa constrictor was misidentified and killed. This boa was completely legal to own in Florida, as boa constrictors are not on the FWC prohibited species list in Florida. This snake was 11 years old and had been raised by the owner, Bill McAdam, since it was a baby. This boa was gravid or pregnant with 32 fully developed babies at the time of her death. 29 reticulated pythons and 5 Burmese pythons were also killed. All appeared healthy. All snakes were in locked cages. All snakes were microchipped, registered, and on documented inventory with FWC, as the owner was in full compliance with the conditional species permit rules before that program was terminated for this species in 2021. Chris Coffey fed, maintained, and humanely kept all of these pythons from February 2022 until April 6, 2023, as ordered by the FWC in February of 2022. On April 6th, the FWC officers killed 34 of Coffey's animals, many of which he hatched and raised himself, along with the misidentified boa constrictor. 29 of these 34 snakes were reticulated pythons. Reticulated pythons are not an invasive species in Florida. This fact has been misrepresented in many mainstream media forms. These pythons were killed because FWC had moved the species from conditional species to prohibited species. Licensed individuals who had been housing, breeding, and selling, and again, when they sell them, they were only allowed to sell to out-of-state buyers or other conditional species permit holders, for many years were not grandfathered in. FWC did not allow snake breeders and sellers to keep any of the snakes, even as non-breeding pets. These conditional species owners only had 90 days to sell, euthanize, or rehome their animals. Coffey had managed to rehome the majority of his pets during the 90 days, but not all of them. When the prohibited species rules passed, some exhibitors and zoos were allowed to keep some animals now listed as prohibited species, but snake keepers and breeders were not allowed to be grandfathered. The 34 pythons owned by Chris Coffey were being kept at a facility owned by Bill McAdam, the owner of the killed boa constrictor. Coffey had informed FWC that this is where the snakes were housed. Okay, you ready for this? The killing technique used on April 6th was meant for emergency and in the wild purposes only. This situation did not require the snakes to be killed in this manner. The FWC officers did not follow their own two-step process for humanely killing reptiles, as stipulated by the FWC, that is even publicly posted on its own website. The officers only performed step 1 and never completed the humane process by carrying out step 2. This protocol is posted at the second link in today's video's description if you want to see what that was for yourself. And finally, the camera that filmed the killing of the snakes was not a hidden camera, and the FWC officers were informed that it was filming. Chris and Bill, at this time, I would just like to say that my heart goes out to you, and I'm so sorry you have had to endure this. I personally have never seen anything like this before. For everybody that is watching, again, please at this time send all subscription, attention, and support to USARK Florida as these events and the repercussions of them continue to unfold. And that's all I have for you guys for today. Hang in there, reptile community. Stay positive. Stay strong together. Good night, America.